Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to... Man, my brain is fried.
What is this? What day is it?
What are we
show?
doing? Who am I?
Am I in the Matrix?
This is Chingo Chats. Welcome, man. I'm your boy, Chingo Bling. Man, I just had a baby. Sorry, y'all. We're going to talk about it. We got producer Rob in the building.
Hell yeah, man.
And before the blue state people get locked down again
Yes.
by the Delta, Lambda, Phi, Kappa, Theta, Delta,
Yep.
they about to hit y'all with the whole Greek alphabet, ladies and
It's
gentlemen.
a heavy-hitting sorority sister.
Man, they hit y'all with the Alpha Kappa Psi, the AKA, the whole shebang. I'm headed to some blue states. Hopefully, they'll be open by the time I get there. It is the Freedom of Speech Tour. We're headed to San Jose, California. I'll be at the Improv, God willing. August 18th, Denver, Colorado, another blue state. August 27th through the 29th. And then Chucotown in the Free State of Texas, September 9th through the 11th. Back to the West Coast, Brea, California, September 15th. Oxnard, California, September 16th. Back to Texas, Addison, Texas, October 7th through the 10th. San Antonio, October 14th through the 16th. Irvine, California, November 3rd. And then Houston, November 5th through the 7th. Pow. Sass.
Good
yeah, man,
intro.
I'm excited. I got so many mouths to feed. I got to get to work. I don't think I'm ever going to be able to retire. Patreon.com /Red Pill Tamales. But you know what? I chose to be an artist, bro.
You did.
You know, I could have been, I didn't really like engineering or medical, nothing like that. But hey, it is what it is. I chose to become Chingo Bling, and now I'm trying to red pill y'all. If you enjoy the show and all the content, man, we have a lot of premium content. We just did a live Zoom episode exclusivo with some patrons. That was a nice treat for myself because it wasn't just you and I, crazy people talking to each other. We actually had some faces and some people to chime in. I learned a lot, actually.
Dude, it was really fun. People have been talking about, we should do 2 a month. And I'm like, oof, let's
get there.
think about it. Yeah, we'll get there as the Patreon grows and as, the demand for it grows. But it was really fun. And the people that were there, they were all at work. Which
No
was fun.
shit.
Everybody that was there was at work. And I remember seeing some comments like, I love seeing how all the TIA that jumped on the Zoom were at work.
I know you hear like this shit in the background. Yeah,
entire
can you
time.
mute your mic, please? Because you're over there making money.
Well, yeah, right. We'll have like an intro message in the chat next time for everybody. Like, read this before you participate. But somebody was on a forklift, I think. Somebody was.
Oh yeah, boys was out there getting it,
man.
Yeah, somebody I don't know. Somebody looked like they were burying some dead bodies. I don't know. I don't want to get into that.
He was grilling them in the back.
Oh, la madre on the Blackstone. But yeah, we really appreciate you guys. We did it at a random time during the day. It was the first time we've ever done anything like that. But we look forward to doing more of it. Like I said, more premium content coming at you real hot.
Yeah, shows Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, extra content on the other days. When Chingo Can uses the lens feature, it's a great way to chat, interact, and messages.
Oh yeah, everyone on the Patreon, they've already seen photos of the baby as a newborn. They be looking kind of rough when they first born. You know what I'm saying? Especially them C-section babies.
Dude, straight up. So, they look like aliens, do they not? Straight up aliens.
Man, I just can't wait to get into my whole experience.
So it was straight up aliens, and I say that about everybody's kid. And let's just be honest, there are some babies that even after you've got them all clean up, they're wrapped up, they're given to the mom, they put them, skin to skin, and then you kind of pull the little beanie bag and you take a picture.
You're like, whoa.
And they don't look that cool or cute or anything.
I looked terrible when I was born. But go ahead.
But your baby, and I'm not just saying this because you're right here.
I had to take 200 pictures, pick the nicest photo.
Well, you did a good job because the one you sent me was super adorable.
Thank you, man. Yeah, it looked like I found some random Asian kid.
It looked just
like,
yep.
Sorry, Korean woman. I'm just
nailed it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. We had a Filipino nurse when we made it to the hospital, and I'll get to that in a minute. And she looked like one of my tias.
Yeah.
And sometimes my sisters get confused for Filipino. My dad gets confused for Asian. One of my cousins tried to tell me that we had some Korean blood in us. I'm not buying it. But then again, maybe we were escaping tyranny back then.
Did you listen to it yet?
I started it. I haven't finished it. Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that on RPT. The defector that was on Rogan. I forgot her name.
She's attractive as well.
She's very attractive.
So if you're gonna go listen to this episode, her name is Yeonmi Park.
Yes. Okay. Way to go. Good memory.
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
Hey
wow.
man, I think I might be part
I think you
Korean.
Googled her. I think you Googled her already. So
I might be part Korean. I might have screenshots of her photo on my phone.
I'm like, how do you weigh 80 pounds and have that? You're packing that. But okay.
Yeah.
Oh, also, before we keep going on tangents, the merch is here.
Mira nomás.
Mira nomás.
Mira nomás la merca.
Damn, son.
You know what I'm talking
My
about?
favorite hat.
Yeah, it's going down. Yeah, new Thea merch. It'll be on my website, chingobling.com. But like I said, we're just getting the ball rolling. A lot more stuff to come. So, but yeah, man, I got mouths to feed. So patreon.com.
Patreon.com. Just every 5 seconds, we're going to be dropping ads for the website. And
Yeah,
the show.
man, because you know these blue states are locking down. You got the Lambda coming, the Delta coming.
So before we get into the baby and the whole experience, have you gotten any memos from any of these cities you have coming up?
I'm scared to check emails. Marisol, she's in charge. That's her department, and right now she's on medicine and she's like breastfeeding. So I don't know if that's how good that is for the baby.
Sure,
she's getting that medicine milk.
Right.
But no, to my knowledge, not yet. You know, I'm just hearing rumors and murmurs of like, well, you know, California, because that's how it is, man. It's usually gonna be New York and Cali.
Yeah,
gonna be the first ones to just be like, we're scared, hysteria. One study that wasn't peer reviewed in India, it's about to get debunked, but we're gonna base everything off that.
Yeah.
And they're really trying to push the vaccine passports, and they want to monitor
York, man.
all your movements.
Off to it already.
Yeah. I believe here on RPT we've been talking about that. You know, if I'm not mistaken, go back and listen. But that's a big thing that they're really, really trying to push.
Yeah, actually, so if you guys have noticed, there's a lot of content on the What Do You Said page, which we just reached 9,000 followers. Big deal. Hell yeah, hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying, what's up, Big Tech?
We're trying to play within the rules and parameters, right? The short clips that are not saying too many things. Like Jorge Ventura made a really good point of like, and I'll take this for whatever you will, he does self-censor himself in the sense that he doesn't talk about certain things. He's like, I can't, because then I get shadow banned or I get, throttled in the rest of the stuff that I'm doing, all the stuff at the border or the documentaries I'm working on. No one's going to see it because it gets shadow banned.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
Yeah,
But
so we
hey,
got to play within these stupid rules.
Yeah, and then like those new pages that are coming out, like Getter and stuff like that. I'm not even on there yet.
No.
That's actually one of Trump's ex-advisors. I think his name's Jason Miller.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like the Twitter killer. It's supposed to be like similar to Twitter, except with the free speech. So we shall see. I'm not on there yet, but it's kind of like, okay, we've spent so much time trying to build up, the YouTubes and the Facebooks and all that, and it would suck to have to, considering this is America and this isn't North Korea.
Yeah,
you would think you'd be able to say some things.
All right, man. So I'm super excited podcast because I haven't seen you guys since literally last Thursday.
It's all been a blur.
I'm sure it has. We were set to record on Friday. Marisol and I were. And early on in the morning, she's like, hey, you know what? I'm feeling a little tired still. I think I'm just going to take it easy. And, we're good where we are with what we've banked. And, we'll touch base when the baby's here. I'm like, okay. And then the next morning, I think she sent me something like an idea for, her podcast clips and stuff. And I was like, cool. And I was like, I'm not going to hit you up too much. I don't want to bother you because I know it's probably going to be an intense weekend, regardless of the baby would have came or not. And then I didn't hear from her on Saturday, and I didn't hear from her on Sunday. And Don was like, "Has Marisol had the baby?" I was
And
like,
then she wasn't on Instagram.
That's
how you knew.
That was the giveaway. Don was
something's
like,
up.
Don was like, "I haven't seen anything." I was like, "Well, I seen Chingo post." I mean, and then like thinking to myself as like dads, like you're in the moment, but also you're still handling other things because you can't just disappear, right?
Yeah.
So and then she hit me up in the morning, and just this is Marisol's swolger status here. Sends me something nonchalantly about the podcast and a content creation idea
as she's having contractions.
Yeah, as she's already had the baby, right? She had just had it. I guess maybe like half a day before, and then I took it upon myself to be like, yeah, cool. By the way, how you feeling? How was the weekend? Oh, long story, but ended up in the hospital, had the baby, no NBD kind of thing, and I was like, what?
What's MBD?
No big deal.
Ah, got it.
Yeah.
My bad. I'm 41. I turned 42 this month.
Yeah,
I'm almost 50, bro. Shit.
big month.
Yeah, huge.
But yeah, man, she had the baby, and she's like, I'll feel you when I feel better, or whatever. So congratulations again. But she was just like right back to it, like, oh, this is a good idea. I was like, are you okay?
Yeah. So let me just run y'all through it. So our first baby together, she's 3 now. We had her here at home. Everything went smooth with a midwife.
Mm-hmm.
Our newest little baby, Soleil Jimena, was just born, aka America Libertad, aka We the People. No, just playing. We were supposed to be doing a home birth, and shout out to our midwife Fran and her whole team. So I can't remember what day it was that I think contractions started Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
So although she's the one feeling all the pain, I'm still up. I'm awake because she's like squeezing my hand and like giving me updates like, okay, don't call the midwife yet, but they're getting strong. Like, no, we're good. I don't think you got to call her yet. You know, they're too spaced out. And I had to bust out the app, right? Where I'm having to measure the distance, like the frequency of the contractions, how long are they lasting, how much time in between, all that. So I'm there being like a little enfermero, you know, the little male nurse, like little Filipino man nurse. And so she's having a contraction. So she's not sleeping. I'm not sleeping. And then I think, what day was it that it was like, okay, call Fran. Tell Fran, come over here. Like, it's time. That might have been Friday night when like the contractions were getting real strong. And then Fran was in the middle of another home birth. So she like had to go she was in the middle of catching another baby. So somebody from her team, a lady named Catrice, she stopped by like 6 a.m. So now she's in our bedroom. We haven't slept. Like, it's all dark in there, and she's like feeling her stomach and, you know, checking all kind of stuff. And at some point, like, I think Fran shows up and someone else from her team, then the photographer, you know, to capture when the baby gets here. And we're going through the labor, you know, going through all the steps, you know, like, well, try squatting on the yoga ball, try walking around, do some lunges, go sit on the toilet. Yes, that's a technique. That's an actual strategy. Go sit on the toilet.
Because of the position?
Just, you know, use gravity.
Right.
Just the nature of how they're supposed to push. All those muscles down there.
Same
it's
thing.
all same thing.
Same.
It's all samesies.
Yes or yes.
Yes and yes. It's all connected. So basically, act like you got to go poop. That's how you push to have a baby.
Good to know. Some men are going to be having babies in the future.
Yeah, you know, I'm sorry if I said my pregnant wife. I meant birthing person.
Birthing person, yeah.
Birthing person.
You bigot.
Sorry, I'm a bigot. So I'm giving y'all like the fast forward version, right? So we're still planning on having a home birth at this time.
This is Friday, right? This is the next day.
Ma'am, I'm sorry if I'm sketchy on the details.
We'll just go with
I believe it's Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe. But I'm sure if you go listen to her lounge podcast, Marisol will give you the whole detailed shebang. So at this point, I already have, you know, the home birth pool inflated, ready to go. When things started getting more and more real, it's like, okay, I got to start putting that hot water in there. So by the time she has to get in it, now it's like lukewarm or whatever. I also had the bed ready where you're supposed to put like the mattress topper. Shout out to mypillow.com promo code. It's coming real soon. Shout out Mike Lindell. And then you got to put a shower curtain. This is all tranzas. This is all home birth tranzas. You got to put a shower curtain. Then you put your fitted sheet. Then your flat sheet. Then I think another shower curtain. So, you know, it's a lot of layers. There's the
Inside?
Because here's what happens. If she ends up giving birth on the bed, you don't want to have all that juice.
Sure.
All that, you know, red, all kind of.
We get it.
Yeah, different. You don't want to have that hefty trash bag set up to the mattress, catching stuff. So there's some things you got to do. You got to have like 2 different sets of sheets. You got to put those chuck pads and then the flat top on at the end so that, boom, baby's here, catch the baby, cover them up. There's a whole system goes with it. So at this point, everything is still going according to plan.
This is basically what y'all have done the first time. What you had done the first time.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. It was a different midwife. Rest in peace,
Right.
Afua. She's no longer with us. But Fran was there. Fran was like the doula at that point. But anyway, so contractions are getting stronger. Marisol's going through it. I mean, the pain is getting real. Fran is having to check things. She's getting up in there. So what's happening is she's pushing. Her pelvis is proven. Like, she's had a baby before.
Yeah.
This is a proven pelvis, bro. You know what I'm saying? This is a proven pelvis. This ain't
pelvis.
I don't know if this pelvis can handle it or not.
That's her next shirt. Proven pelvis.
Proven pelvis. Been through it. Been there, done that. So at this point, Fran's starting to get a little concerned because she's like, okay, look, I'm not trying to have you here worn out, going through contraction. You know, they're like, you're in the middle of labor. Like, it's pretty much time. It's just that the baby, they're supposed to come out like face down.
Right.
My baby was sunny side up. So she was going to come out looking at you.
Right.
And so Fran's having to stick her hand up in there, you know, hey, things stretch out in the middle of labor.
Yes,
you
they
know?
do.
I'm not saying, you know, it ain't always like that. This one, you 9 centimeters. This one, you know, the natural hormones start kicking in. Your cervix done got softened up and the body's trying to flush. Dude, at this point, they done already broke her water bag. So now they're like, all right, bet you got 12 hours to deliver this baby, because I think it's 24 hours for 12 or 24. I can't remember. State of Texas, it varies. Red state, free state. So they're trying to get the baby to like turn the way she's supposed to be. She's not coming down far enough. And Fran made the judgment call, given all the pressure she had of knowing that Marisol wanted to have the baby at home, knowing what the plan was, what the intentions were. She had to make the tough call and say, you know what? We need to start considering changing the scenery. Like, y'all might want to start packing a bag and head to the hospital, because the contractions are there. You're in the middle of labor, but for whatever reason, the baby's not descending. Like, she's just stuck for whatever reason. So she's like, I don't know if she has a short cord, like the umbilical cord is short, or if it's tied around her ankle or something. And we're like, okay, we trust you. Let's do it. So I'm thinking, okay, so we're going to go in the morning, or when are we going?
Yeah.
And Marisol's like, let's just go now. Thank God she did. So I hurried up, packed a bag, made sure the car seat, like in Chingo, I didn't have the car seat yet in the car.
What, Penny's?
No. She had to have her own. Because Penny's is Penny's.
Yeah.
So she already had Penny's old one, the baby one. So I hadn't had that set up. So I'm like, one of the doulas that was there, Victoria, help me make sure this thing is set up properly. So we're out there, boom, 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 clipped it in. Bag is packed. We're ready to go. She's having contractions. Every once in a while, she'll be like, okay, I'm good. And then, they're kicking in.
Yeah.
Dude, I have footage.
Oh, God.
Okay? I was trying to edit this stuff, and I'm like, I can't put these sounds out there on the internet. It's just like, ooh, oh, ooh. And I'm like, how am I going to edit this? So we drive to the hospital, and she's like, drive slow down. I'm having a contraction. Ooh, oh, it just sounds crazy, bro. We pull up. We're trying to like find the proper entrance to the hospital. We're having to like U-turn and shit. It's like dawn. It's like 4. I can't remember what time it was, but it was like sun wasn't even up yet. And then we get checked in, and nice big old hospital room they put us in. Right away, they're like, we're gonna put you on Pitocin. I guess it's like a hormone to get things going. At some point, see, Marisol had Penny. No epidural, no Tylenol, no Vicks, Vapor Rub, no nothing.
Yeah.
No ibuprofen, nothing. Like, she wanted all the smoke, all the pain. This time, I'm like, look, you ain't got nothing to prove.
Yeah.
Okay, that pelvis is proven.
That's a good point.
You ain't got nothing to prove.
Good call on that.
You've already been going through pain for like 72 hours. You've been having just contraction after contraction. She started with those, they're called Braxton Hicks.
Right.
Those are the first ones. How you know so much about this, bro?
Because we've been talking about it for 3 months.
Okay, got it. So the Braxton Hicks ones are the first ones. So she made it through those. They hook her up. They get her the Pitocin. They were great over there because I know Marisol, she was always very prejudiced against hospital births, especially in a pandemic. She was just like, nah, I don't ever want to do that and this and that. But we were very quickly proven wrong. We're like, man, this staff cool in the mug.
That's
bro.
good.
Yeah, everything was like, man, this shit is comfy.
Yeah.
They're catering to you. I had a nice little couch area to sleep on. It was cold as shit in there, though. It was freezing.
That's the only thing I like about hospitals. They're super cold.
Oh, no. It was too much. I had to end up coming home to get a hoodie like the next day. Real talk.
TIA hoodie.
Yeah. So,
and you haven't once mentioned that, the fibroids, like did that play any kind of role in the pain and the duration and all that stuff?
I don't know if that affects the pain that they feel, but I know that it can be an issue if it ends up being C-section, because the word on the street is, if you got fibroids, y'all bleed a lot.
Yeah, and I thought also the idea was to, once it's already open, to take them out, to have the procedure.
A lot of times they want to do a 2-for-1.
Yeah.
In our case, let me explain what happened.
Okay, go for it.
Sorry about that. Because I know I'm skipping out a lot of details. Make sure y'all listen to Her Lounge podcast. Marisol will give you the real deal. So now she's still having contractions. She ends up getting the epidural. So now she don't know how to push because she can't feel nothing.
Right.
So they're having to coach her through it. Like, hold your legs. Pretend you got to go to the restroom. Da-da-da-da-da. Dad, hold that leg. We're going to support this. I'm going to hold this leg. This one doctor came in. We ain't never met this man before. He's about 7 foot tall. Hands bigger than Shaquille. Dr. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He looked at me. He's like, "Do you mind?" And then stuck his hand. Whass! He's like, "Yeah, the baby's sunny side up. We're trying to get her to flip." I'm like,
Still, so the whole time,
baby sunny side up still. And we were there so long that we done saw different shifts. First, it was like a different lady doctor. Now that I think about it, it's like we crammed like 2 weeks into a weekend.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Sure.
Because it was like a whole other doctor. She's like, "No, you're doing good." Anyway, by the time Dr. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar got up in there, you know, the epidural, let me see where I'm at now. So basically, it got to the point where the same thing that was happening at home, which is contractions are here, you're fully dilated, baby's not coming down, she's still sunny side up, she's pushing, you're just beating yourself up, it's not efficient, it's not productive, you're exhausted.
Yeah.
Like you haven't really slept for a couple days. And they're like, we might want to change scenery. Again. We're like, "God damn, we already at the hospital.
Where are we going now?
How much more scenery? We're going to the woods, hug a tree, and old school." So he's like, "We might have to do a C-section." So she's like, "That's not what she's like, "Oh man, this is just..." So now she's just feeling defeated. She's feeling like a failure. You know, she's having all kind of emotions. And I had to remind her, like, look, let's not frame it that way. You know, that's what we talk about RPT.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not frame it as failure. Let's not do that propaganda around my baby.
There you go. Not this early.
All that media bias.
Yeah.
That's fake news, baby. That's fake news.
We're not victims here.
Yeah, we ain't saying no victimhood. So anyway, I said, look, thankfully, Fran made the call. You know, I know we intended to do a home birth, but now we're here. Everything's going smooth. They're suggesting C-section. So now we have to prep for C-section. Now we're changing scenery.
Right.
Now I have to put on my my little hairnet, like full body overall, the little, ¿cómo se llama? The foot cover, like the little, the things you put over your sneaker. Like you're just covered.
Yeah.
You're just completely covered. You're zip, zip. And now we're going to the C-section department. And they said, "Okay, Dad, this is how tired I was." They're like, "Okay, Dad, we're going to get her in there. We're going to prep her. You wait in this waiting room right here. When it's time, we're going to come get you. And then you're going to sit on a stool next to Mom, behind the curtain. You don't get to see tripas and all kind of, skin being opened up, pulled back, all that alien baby being pulled out." And I'm like, okay. So now I'm in that little waiting room. Boom, I'm out. Now I'm snoring. Like any little chance I could get, I'd pass out. Even to this day, I'm just like thinking to myself, like, yeah, we have a newborn, so I don't know if I could just pop a gummy and be like, "I'm out."
Yeah.
Peace. Pop 2 deltas. It's the
Shellshock CBD.
Yeah.
Promo code
Chingo. Promo code Chingo. So now the nurses come to get me like, "All right, Dad, hey, wake up. It's time." So shit, I go in this little room. They got this whole staff team in there. They got this big ass light hovering over her stomach. Dr. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, his big old hands are there.
He's back.
Yeah, he's back.
I thought you were going to say you couldn't wake up when they tried to get you.
Right? Déjame en paz. So now I'm sitting next to her. She's like out of it. She's all doped up and just passing out. And she's just there. Like, you just see her kind of moving because they're like doing stuff. Now you start to smell burnt skin.
Oh.
Yeah, because they're having to like cut her open. So, like when they burn hair. That's kind of what it smells like. Like, somebody burning hair up in here. And before you know it, you start hearing like a little cat crying, like, and I'm like, whoa. Penny was like, when she was born.
She came out, "Hala borde."
Yeah, hala borde. And so I'm like, oh shit, she's here. And they start right away cleaning her off, wiping her off. It's like NASCAR. You just see all these hands like, yeah, they're getting in the ears, getting in the eyes, wiping stuff down, getting her all ready, weighing her, cutting the umbilical cord, putting the little plastic clamp on it. I didn't even get to do that. I didn't get to cut the cord this time. I'm just like a bystander. I'm taking cell phone pictures. Finally, they bundle her up, give her to me. So now I'm like staring at my newborn because I'm like, oh my God, she's a lot smaller than what I thought.
Oh, yeah?
Because Marisol's belly is still big.
Yeah.
The uterus and all that, it don't just snap back right away. Plus, you got fibroids. So
right.
it just... she'll say it. She's like, I still look pregnant. That's not me, yo. That's her. So I'm like, damn, okay, she's a little bit smaller than what Penny was. And then her cry wasn't as loud. I'm like, okay, well, shit, she's a little more dainty. And then I guess finally we end up moving to another room, right? Because the initial room they had us in. Now we changed the scenery a fourth time.
Damn.
Right? So now the room's a lot smaller. It's not that big ass room they first put us in.
Yeah.
Room's a lot smaller. I still have a little couch. It's still cold. Hospital food is a lot better than what I thought it would be. It was way better than what I thought it was going to be.
What'd you have?
Man, I had chicken parmesan with linguine one time.
Oh, damn.
Yep. The worst thing I probably had there was the fajitas. I don't know why Marisol ordered me fajitas. It was not off the chain. But the salmon was good. The breakfast was pretty good. I had like an omelet with spinach and cheese and pancakes. The pancakes were really good.
Damn.
The coffee was a little weak, but they did have a Starbucks like on the third floor. Man, what else? Cool view. Like you look out the window, it looks like a downtown, but it's our medical center.
Yeah.
Which is like
basically a downtown.
Humongous.
Yeah.
It's off the chain. Houston's medical center.
Driving down there, I always I kind of I don't panic or get anxiety, but it's so like big and clustered and stuff that sometimes I'm like, man, if I make the wrong turn, you're on like I'm fucked.
Yeah,
I'm going down
especially
one way.
Especially when all those medical workers get out and they're just like crossing the street, hopping on the metro rail. I mean, it really is like its own little city within a city. Yeah.
So fourth time, changing scenery.
Yeah, so now we're in our smaller room. It's more of like the recovery room. So now shit's just getting real. Like right when you thought, okay, we just had surgery, like contractions are over. Now we can probably get in a little nap or something. It's like, no. Now you have an infant. Now you got this newborn here who's like needs to be fed like every 2 hours. You got to be checking diapers. You're not going to sleep. You know, she's in pain. They're coming to check you every 2 hours. So let's just say you finally got her to go to sleep, you know, because Marisol's milk production ain't all the way there yet. When they're newborn, it's just a colostrum. It's like a drop of this thick stuff that gives the human body's amazing. Ladies, props to all the women, all the birthing people out there. Props because, dude, there's antibodies. There's stuff in there that the babies need for their digestion. Like
in the milk, you're saying?
In the colostrum. It's like the first little stuff that's coming out. It's all like there's even like prebiotics, probiotics, antibodies, stuff for their immune system.
Even in the milk itself, I don't know if you knew this, but if you milk, right, you take milk out of the mom and you give it to the baby in the morning milk has certain properties in there for the morning, and the nighttime milk when you breastfeed has nighttime, like makes them go to sleep, makes them relax, all that kind of stuff. Like just from beginning of the day, end of day, the milk switches.
Yeah, and I think it's like if the baby's sick and needs certain stuff, it'll be in there.
Yeah, enzymes and all that stuff. Crazy.
Bro. And people trying to make it like men can give birth. It's like, man, listen up, feminists. Like, y'all getting too progressive.
Yeah.
Y'all went so progressive that y'all totally disrespected women. Like, y'all taking away the amazing power. Like, I don't think I could withstand not one contraction. You know, I sure as hell don't want Dr. Kareem's hand all up in me. You know what I'm saying? If my baby's in my stomach sunny side up, leave it alone. Don't be reaching up there trying to get the baby to switch around.
I think after you finish the Korean, what's her name? Say it for me again.
Yeonmi Park.
Yeonmi?
Mm-hmm.
I know you Googled her, so I know you knew it. Yeonmi Park. Once you finish her episode.
Yeonmi Park.
Yeonmi Park, indeed. We'll be able to talk about it even more because I think I have a whole new, like I've always been, and we'll get back to finishing up the baby story, but like we're both empathetic people, right? We know how to like, you know, feel for people when they have certain situations that like might not be the best situation, and you know they've got their needs.
Like, oh, that sucks.
Yeah, that sucks. Yeah. You know, your worst day again is your worst day. So why would I shit on it, right? Because it's your worst experience. But at the same time, you listen to this defector story, and it gives you almost no sympathy or empathy for these people that are crying wolf for every little thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can't wait to get into that because, you know, it's a new episode of Rogan. Her name is Yeonmi Park. And all these little young, indoctrinated Marxist college students, all these communist sympathizers that go around hating on capitalism, Go listen to that episode.
Dude, and she went to She went to school. Like she's so well read and so well studied. I feel like a piece of shit for not being as well read and studied as her. You know, considering everything she went through. And people had hit me up because I posted on my story like, it's the most intense podcast I've heard in the 11, 12 years I've been listening to podcasts. And some people had already heard her on Jordan Peterson or they heard her on Tim Pool's show.
I think I heard her on Steve Bannon's.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Recently?
It was probably like a couple months ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So people had heard a couple episodes already of her. And even in the past, like she's written a book. She did appearances, years ago when she first came here, I think, and did some, spoke at, United Nations, TED Talks and stuff. So, I didn't really know about her up until, a couple months ago, but it's just like, it's such an incredible fucking story, man.
Yeah. And she's lived firsthand through something that's being, I'm not going to say it's being ushered in over here.
She said it herself. It is.
Well, yeah, like the snake is in the house.
Yeah.
That Marxism has become mainstream ideology. They're everything from critical race theory to all the division that's in our country, and they're trying to just sell it to you. They're trying to package it to you in the name of equality. And look, man, we're just teaching the kids that racism exists, bro. We're just teaching the kids about slavery. It's like, no, you're not. You're dividing us based on race.
Yeah, man.
And all that. But anyway, long story short, let me just wrap up the birth story. It's the I still have to process and wrap my brain around everything because like we literally just came home. I've only been home a few hours. I just came back from Walgreens picking up her pain medicine. I told Rob, I was like, hey man, let's record some episodes. I'll be there at 3. And I forgot that Mighty Soul is like just got out of surgery and she's taking care of the newborn all by herself. But yeah, so when you're in the hospital and you have a newborn, like you just get her to go to sleep and now they're coming in to, hey, good morning, we're coming to check, we're going to go poke her with a needle on her foot, pull some blood out, make sure she don't have jaundice and this and that. And hey mom, how you feeling? Do you need, it's time for you. Okay. Then they leave. Okay, dad's relaxing. Dad has calm back on. We got the baby back to sleep. Mom's starting to relax. And all right, mom, it's time for your pain medicine. We're going to go ahead and put this in your IV. And it's like, oh my God, and then for her to even get out of bed, she has this huge gash, obviously, because they had to open her up. And one of the doctors, they had I guess the bandage, one of the doctors came in to remove it. And they have so many different shifts. Like we went through so many nurses from the little few days we were there. That I guess one nurse told my wife, hey, go ahead and I guess shower first, and then they're gonna come remove the bandage or something. Something got lost in communication. So then one of the doctors comes in and just rips off the bandage, like it wasn't moistened, it wasn't ready to come off or whatever, and it literally pulled off skin. So she just has like red. She's like, this shit hurts more than the fucking surgery.
Oh no.
Yes. And I can't help too much, so I'm sorry, I don't feel what you're feeling.
Pete, you're supposed to be here for me.
Pete.
Yeah, that's more like
Get the baby. and then she's getting frustrated, feeling defeated because like, her milk production isn't there yet. So it's like, call the nurse, we need donor milk. So I guess they have like a little milk bank on one of these floors or something. Oh, word. Where I guess moms that produce a shit ton, they just have extra and they're just getting it out there.
Imagine what they're working with.
Hey, it's some monsters. Good
Yummies.
Milk, proven milk duds.
Yummy.
The yummies. And get you about 15 milliliters. And of course, that knocked the baby out. So it's like, okay, boom, now she's asleep. And rinse, repeat over and over again. And today, thankfully, we were ready to come home. We're just like, okay, it's cool to be here and everything, that you have like nurses and stuff to help you. But at home, you can eat when you want. You don't have to be like, go ahead and start ordering dinner so you can be here on time.
Right.
And all that kind of crap. So very blessed, happy, still processing it. Brain still very foggy. I got my coffee right now. It's like 4 p.m. right now, but I went and got me some more. So really looking forward to hitting that stride where the baby is like not so newborn.
Yeah.
I don't know when that is, if they got to be like a month old or something, but I have some shows and stuff coming up in like a couple weeks. So that'll be my great escape.
Yeah,
That'll be
yeah.
like, woohoo, I'm in San Jose.
What is that? The 18th, I think.
Yeah, we have San Jose coming up. And John Copel, did I say his last name right?
Yeah, yeah.
John Copel is putting together an event. He's the teacher that went viral speaking out about CRT.
Who just got fired yesterday.
He got fired from being a teacher?
Dude, you didn't see his videos?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I was in the hospital.
Oh, sorry. Stupid.
But I mean, I was on social media. I just didn't see that.
Yeah, you got to watch him.
Oh, my God.
They literally, like, he walked in and immediately, nobody had a mask on, but they pointed him out and said he had to leave. He has a hearing with the school board tomorrow.
Well, I saw him. He said something about why'd they point me out over this mask stuff.
Yeah, they fired him for it.
Wow. Well, you know what? They don't deserve him.
Yeah, right?
You know, he's like, I think, way overqualified.
Oh, for sure. He's already got a legal team on it and everything.
Okay, man. And you know what? He did a lot of, he's doing a lot of good coverage about the people in Cuba. So August 14th, he's putting together a freedom rally, like a freedom protest type of thing.
I think he's calling it that, right? A freedom rally?
I'm not sure. I'm still trying to get the details because I'm supposed to be there. Bryson Gray, the rapper, supposed to be there. And it's in New Orleans, August 14th. And so that's going to be like my first obligation coming up. Because apparently the governor of Louisiana is doing some mask mandates again. I guess I ain't know they were a blue state like that.
I didn't either.
I mean, Louisiana, that's like, that's the South. You know, I'm thinking, I don't know. But looking forward to that. So looking forward to just kind of getting back into some kind of groove.
Yeah.
And with everything happening with all these stupid variants and all this propaganda of like, you just had 50 million people at Lollapalooza in Chicago, Barack Obama having hundreds of people at his birthday. Meanwhile, they want you to shut down your businesses and your churches. And it's like, you know what? We really got to get this, get our studio set up, figure out what kind of content we're going to be producing, and just like really, really just, turn it into something where, hey, they can have all the variants in the world they want, if you never go to California ever again, that'd be unfortunate.
Yeah, and that's my big thing I've been telling Chingo is that, we are very purposeful with what we talk about. Obviously, we try to be entertaining, but a lot of stuff we talk about is just so damn for real that it's hard to like sprinkle in some yummies in there whenever you're talking about it, right?
Yeah.
But it's a part of that, having to make sure that we can do, the most we can with these platforms within the rules that they set out for you, within the times that they allow you to be on the platforms and all that, within the community guidelines and without, what do they say? The latest thing that I saw a ton of people, I don't know if you noticed it, they were getting this, I think you might have gotten the same message. We're limiting the amount of things you can do with your account right now. Some people, they couldn't reply to stories. Other people, they couldn't reply to DMs. And
what was that about?
I have no idea.
Because I saw people that weren't political pages.
Yeah.
They also were
I didn't. All I saw was everybody that was a political, right-ish kind of leaning person say that.
One thing that I saw that they were doing for the right-ish people were, what was it? It was like sensitivity stuff, things that may be offensive, like not letting
did
people
you change
see
that
your
setting?
stuff. I need to go on my own page and change my own setting?
Yes. So the new update by default, you want to do it right now?
So that I can see stuff or so I can post stuff?
See stuff. So everybody, if you haven't done this yet, I posted about it about a week and a half ago. Go to your Instagram, and then you go to your profile, and then you go to the top three little lines there, and go to settings.
Okay.
And then you
settings,
go to account.
Account, got it.
And then sensitive content control.
Got it.
It's default limit.
Limit default. Okay, leave it on that?
No, let me see yours. Yeah, it's on.
Put it on allow.
Put it on allow.
Move it to allow.
So by default,
allow sensitive content.
Yes. So if you've been not seeing a lot of things on your Instagram, it's because by default the new update put it to limiting the quote unquote sensitive content that it shows you.
It's just big tech's way of hating on conservatives, basically.
Well, it's their way of, if you frame it in the way they say it, is to protect you from the content that's on the platform.
Basically, it's I don't want to say the government's job because these are technically private companies, but we already know that this administration is working directly with big tech.
Yeah.
Because they feel that it's their job to dictate what reaches your ears and your eyes.
Yes, and it goes back, to Miss Park's podcast. And if you guys, I hope everybody listens to it. It's verbatim, like and you say this all the time, out of those playbooks, out of the Mao, out of the dictator, communism, socialist, North Korea, China, CCP playbooks. Everything that's kind of slowly trickling into the country.
Wow. Yeah, like that show on Netflix, How to Be a Tyrant. It shows you a lot of the tactics and the playbook stuff. Whew.
Straight up wild.
It's just crazy how, I know this isn't RPT, this is Chingo Chats, but it's crazy how all those things got accelerated, it seems like, because, a few years ago, I didn't notice all this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, maybe I just wasn't up on game in terms of like, look what Obama's doing, man, that's socialism or whatever, right?
Funny.
I wasn't up on game like that, but it seems like some of the stuff, the shadow banning and labeling things, misinformation, disinformation, just to be justified in silencing it. Everything from what we're seeing with the vax passports and all that, it's just like, whoa, how did we arrive at this point?
Yeah, it's funny you say that, though, because about 10 years ago or so, whenever Obama was in office, I remember being, 19, 20, 21, and when I started listening and doing podcasts, interviewing some of these people, some of them that I've mentioned were, congressional candidates, and talking about the NDAA when I was like 20, and kind of like from then 10 years.
NDAA,
the National Defense Authorization Act, that basically it's like the big thing that they pass every year that has the military's budget. It has a lot of things that are a lot of Jen would say dingleberries attached to it, and from 20 to 30, like I go, and I'm sure a lot of people go in and out of what's going on around the world, because it wasn't necessarily all the time 24/7 Trump bad guy, orange man bad in your face like what's happened the last 4 years. So to say like I didn't really see it, you didn't, because it just wasn't in your face all the time. It was still going on and it was just as important, but it's nothing like what's been happening the last 3-4 years. Like, it's insane. We'd hear about it when Obama was doing things and Biden was the VP, and then you kind of forget about it because it wasn't affecting there wasn't a pandemic for one, and it wasn't affecting everybody at the same time.
Well, technically, you had swine flu, but the media wasn't trying
to do shit about that.
They weren't trying to do what they're doing now.
Yeah, which obviously makes it a lot harder for people to escape when you're already at home. You can't go anywhere. You can't do anything. So it's been, and Tim Pool and that character of people have been talking about all this social and injustice stuff for over 10 years, and now it's just like everyone thought at first 10, 15 years ago that it was just gonna like, I don't know, fizzle out. And then now it's in all the institutions, it's all the schools, all the professors. It's now unavoidable.
In all our institutions, military Marxism intensifies.
Which who would have thought?
Yeah.
Who would have thought we'd be saying that in 2021 about the U.S. government, or military rather, and the schools and big tech?
Yeah, I just remember in college I took this sociology class, and they try to make it sound real fly, like Karl Marx, man, it's the bourgeoisie versus the proletariat, man. And this, certain things perpetuate differences along the lines of class. And, and I didn't know they were trying to indoctrinate me. Like that professor at that school at Trinity, her name was Dr. Gentry, and she was trying real hard to get me to be in the sociology department and be a little Marxist, But I mean, some of it sounded fly, like the police are the biggest gang in America. And it's like, oh, okay. And she would break stuff down like the crime bill, which, Joseph Raheem Breezy wrote. I got my name on that bill.
Yeah, Joe B. Biden.
Man, sorry, this is turning into RPT.
Fuck it. We only got like 15 more minutes and then we're going into an RPT.
Right. So, anyway, just to tie it all together, the real concerning thing, like this morning, Marisol had like CNN on just to because she wanted more pain
at the hospital.
At the hospital, she's like, let me see how they spin things, right? Okay. Just to get some nuance.
Yeah.
And it was funny, dude. Like they're on there covering Cuomo's scandal.
They were?
Yeah, but doing it in a very news-like way, like just very factual. Like they weren't like, Orange Man bad. He said what? It was more like, yeah, and look at the face, right? They're like, yeah, Jake Tapper, right? And the documented, may report state and 176 page. It was just very like 11 witnesses came forward and very like to the facts. It was just boom, boom, boom.
Basically telling you what's happening, kinda like they're supposed to be.
Yeah,
doing.
kind of doing like what they should be kind of doing, like telling. Except I told Marisol, I was like, notice they haven't said anything about the border. They're not going to talk about inflation. They're not going to talk about all these real crises. And me and Marisol got to talking about, like, she's like, man, so how bad do you think things are going to get? Like, what is all this going to lead to? And I just told her, I was like, well, first we got to see what this inflation is going to do. We got to see if they're going to really collapse the US dollar. We got to keep an eye on the cost of everything going up. Everything, not just gas and food. It's like everything, like gym equipment, like clothing, beans, grain, like all kinds of stuff, alcohol, Coca-Cola.
Dude,
like
every single thing. We were doing, the Zoomcast with the TIA, and Loke G was in there, who's a mechanic. Is that right?
Yeah, but he knows how to do all kind of shit.
Yeah,
like
and he was
install. You know what I'm talking about?
Some fly ass shit.
Mini splits.
He was, you brought up, what else is going up? Who knows? And, he was talking about all this stuff within shops that are going up, right? My dad's a trucker. Oil, gas, all these things that the drivers, that drive big rigs need to do to maintain their vehicles to get shit to and from, right? To keep the supply chains, going, is all going up. If they're driving just as much, making less, and spending more on maintenance and just regular stuff, you be prepared to pay even more.
Yeah. The value of the dollar's going down. Cost of goods are going up. Real wages are going down. Inflation is going up. Meanwhile, you got the border wide open. So all these folks, which we don't blame them for coming. I'm sure they're escaping some very bad things. And plus they got invited. So why wouldn't they? So now you have all these folks entering the job market, competing against, black people, brown people, poor white people, working class, blue collar. They're entering the labor force. So Wall Street likes cheap labor. You know what I'm saying? So like so many people, the Democrats, they love them as voters. So everybody has their little agenda, but it all ends up turning into a slave class.
Yeah.
And it's squeezing. We're squeezing the middle class, but people misinterpret it as, Chingo, you forgot where you came from. Chingo, what happened to started from the border? Now you're here. Whatever happened to they can't deport us all? It's like, hey, man, yeah, those albums still jam. You can go listen to them. You can go stream all of that.
And they still hit.
However, I mean, the reality is, what kind of country are our kids and our grandkids going to inherit?
Yes.
With all the critical race theory, the division, the Marxism, the vaccine passports, the lockdowns, the mandates, government getting bigger, elections getting less credible.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Dude, you nailed it, because that was how Miss Park kind of wrapped up the podcast, in a sense, was talking about, like, because she has a kid, right? She's married to somebody who's, her kid's an American citizen. She said, I thought I was going to give my child the life dream of being an American citizen. And now that I'm here, he's part, Korean, and he's part white. But the whites are the worst people on the planet, right? They're racist, they're bigots, they're terrible people. It's like he's fucked, basically. She's like, he's ruined, And it's so unfortunate that somebody who's been through that much would say that about the best country that's ever existed on the face of this planet. But it's where we are. And like you said, what are they going to inherit? That's the biggest question right now. And I only have bonus babies. I don't even have actual, biological whatever. But still, they're like mine. Yeah. What are they going to inherit?
And that's why we do this show, man. That's why we're doing what we do. That's why, that's why the patrons joined to support us and back us up and join the TIA. And we're doing our best, y'all. We're trying to get the word out, but obviously it's like we're having to tiptoe around algorithms and big tech, and all the while you're being called a sellout, coon, Theo Tom, because the shit's going over people's heads. So it's kind of frustrating.
Super frustrating.
It's frustrating because it's like, do y'all not see what's at stake?
And also what we're talking about, it helps those people as well. Like, despite them being completely either blind, sheeple-like people, this is for your own good as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's in your benefit that we talk about these things and not silence them.
Yeah. Yeah, because, I know I caught a lot of people off guard. It's like, wait. He's going to Trump rallies now. He's all Mr. freaking Captain America. Where's all this coming from? What happened to the little Mexican guy running around with the Mexican flag all the damn time? And it's like, that was in my 20s and my 30s. And I've seen some things. I've witnessed some things. And, you should be alarmed, and you should keep an open mind, and you should pay attention, and you should care. Keep an open mind, fact check us. But I'm the same person, I'm the same person. I'm not like, oh, he's at Klan rallies now. He's racist. He hates his own people. He hates his skin color. It's like, no, I love my people, and that's why I'm sticking my neck out, trying to spread the word as to some of the nomenclature, some of the vocabulary. Like, what is Marxism? How are they trying to sell it to you? Why does Marxism always lead to socialism? Why does socialism always lead to communism? You know what I mean? Why does communism always lead to people starving?
Yeah, and why is it that people that are for it always use the phrase that, yeah, people have tried, socialism, but they've never done it right?
Yeah.
Like, why is that always a consensus? Again, fact check us, like Chingo said, but also
it sounds cool on paper.
it does. Bring the facts. If you fact check something or you want to, refute something that we say, bring it to us so we can talk about it. We're not going to, delete it as somebody said that Patreon did, which if you missed that part, sometimes Patreon will remove things that look like spam, that look like you're trolling, even if you're a paying member of a Patreon, not ours, but just anybody's. So keep that in mind as well.
Ta cabrón. Whew, we dodging stuff from all over, y'all. And, but yeah, to all the parents, man, think about, what kind of country your kids are going to grow up in. How many freedoms are they going to have?
Yeah.
What kind of world? Are they going to be able to express themselves and share information and access information? Or is it going to be like God forbid, a Cuba, North Korea, where everything is curated by state media, state government, propaganda galore? They're monitoring your every single step. I never thought we would be. I mean, I knew privacy was a thing that was kind of an illusion to a certain extent. I wasn't naive to think that like, oh, your cell phone's tracking you, Chingo. Like, bitch, I know that.
But let me ask you this. Isn't it funny or odd or however you want to look at it that when we would have those discussions, let's say 10-ish years ago, it was always in the vein of, or in the like idea that we're being tracked for advertising purposes, Big tech just wants to give us more of what we want, right?
Or like, the NSA is just listening, make sure you ain't a terrorist.
Yeah, right. But now we no longer think of it as I'm trying to get the best Nike ad, possible, or they're trying to give me the best Nike ad. It's more of they want to know where you at, what you're doing, who you're with, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, contact tracing.
Yeah.
And not only that, but now if they're listening in, which they are, now it's no longer like, do they have ties to ISIS and Al Qaeda, and are they researching how to like build a bomb or something? Now it's like, you're a little patriotic for my taste.
Yeah.
Why are you supporting those that party or those candidates? And we're gonna label you a certain thing. You're a little insurrectionist now.
And I say this every episode, but it's always just for the bag. This is all just for bags left and right. China wants their bag. North Korea wants to keep their bag. All these politicians in the United States want to make sure they secure their bags.
Yeah, that's why they sold us out.
Yeah.
Ta cabrón.
Yeah. Womp womp.
Yeah, man.
Let's shift gears.
Depressing ass show.
Right. From a birth to the death of a country.
I'm still wearing my my tags. Yeah, I gotta take them off.
Do you use your legal name or your stage name?
No. Yeah, this is all legal right here, Bubba. But yeah. Shout out to shout out to everyone that participated in getting this baby out of my wife's stomach. It was just a lot of people.
Yeah, it sounds like it was well over like a dozen people.
It was just a lot of people. Yeah, a lot of people. Because, you had the home birth crew. And again, they made an excellent call. They didn't let their ego get in the mix. Mm-hmm. They weren't like, nah, fuck that. We don't want to be failures. We're going to keep trying. They're like, nah, something's not adding up.
Yeah.
There's a variable here that we don't quite know what's going on, but you've been trying and change scenery. And then you had everyone at the hospital.
Yeah, the 5 different crews.
Pinche NASCAR, zing, 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 zing. But yeah, it's good to be home. Good to be back. Puro RPT, puro tia. Looking forward to getting some sleep.
Yeah,
at
you
some
need
point.
that.
We'll see if the baby lets us. But hey, it is what it is.
Well, let's shift gears, man.
For sure. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the city near you. Hopefully, none of the blue states shut down. Thank you. Peace.